From recruiting and consulting firm Riderflex, I'm your host, Steve Urban, and here is your Riderflex episode of the day. And on today's episode of the Riderflex podcast, here's a tip for you that could apply to any area of your life, personal or business relationships. Now, on the Riderflex podcast, we focus on career advice, we focus on job interviewing advice. So I'm primarily talking about those areas, but really, this topic could apply to anything. I'm 53 years old now, and I've been an executive. I've been a manager for many, many years. I've owned my own business. So I've been an entrepreneur. I've done startup. I've done big company, you name it. I've done it almost at this point. I've learned to follow the traffic signs when I meet somebody for the first time. And as I'm starting to develop a relationship with them early on, whether it's personal or business, I look for the signs, right? I look for the green lights, the yellow lights, the red lights, the stop signs, the caution signs. I look for all of it. And you can usually see it right away. And I've learned as I've gotten older to make faster judgments on somebody based on those early signs and then move away from them if I need to faster. I used to think to myself, oh, well, maybe they're just busy this week and that's why they canceled the meeting at the last minute. Maybe they're just overwhelmed right now and that's why they didn't send me the report like they said they would on Tuesday. Maybe they had another call and that's why they didn't answer the phone when we were scheduled to talk at 3 and I called their cell phone and they didn't pick up. You start making excuses for people in your head, right? Because you want to like them. You want to develop a relationship with the person for some reason, whether it's business or personal. So you start giving them a pass, right? You start accepting these early signs when they don't show up for a meeting or didn't do something they said they would do. It usually comes in the form of some sort of communication. Didn't call you back, didn't get on the call, changed the meeting at the last minute, canceled the meeting, bumped you 3 times because they had another meeting that was more important than yours. Whatever. Just look for these signs. I tell you, as I've gotten older, I look for them right away. If I see 2 or 3 caution flags, I know right away, like, okay, that behavior is not going to change, especially if it's an older, mature professional. I look at them and go, okay, you're 45 years old and you're canceling meetings at the last minute right now. And you told me twice now that you'd call me back the next day and you didn't. Like, okay, our relationship's over. I'm breaking up with you. Or I tend to move away from them pretty quickly, right? I know not to do business with them because that's how it's going to be. They've given you the early signs. It's just like the traffic signs, right? If it says road may be slippery up ahead when it's ice, it probably is. And so their behaviors early on, that's how it's going to be. They're not going to change for you. So look for the traffic patterns early on and then decide whether or not you need to move away from them. Somebody we used to work with here at Riderflex, they had a great line, which I've used in several of my other episodes. And the line is this. The line is, if somebody's just getting on your nerves, if somebody's, canceling meetings last minute, not showing up, they're telling you they're going to do something and they don't. I mean, all these things, right? Just look in the mirror and say, you know what? I just don't need that experience in my life right now. That's powerful, isn't it? You just don't need that experience in your life right now. If people are treating you that way, read the signs. The traffic signs are usually right for long-term behavior. That's how it's going to be if you get in a relationship with them, whether it's business or personal. And there is your Riderflex tip of the day. The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviews. Our show can be heard just about anywhere these days, but you can visit riderflex.com and click on the podcast page to hear all the previous episodes and learn more about the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Contact us at the email address info@riderflex.com or 888-964-5876. Thanks so much for listening, and if you enjoy our show, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like the episodes.